Hello everyone, welcome to another car review. Today we are looking at my friend's Seat Leon COPA 1.2 TSI. As you can see, it's all in white. Pretty clean looking car. Just gonna do a little walk around, see through. As you can see, so it's a mid-sized compact car. There's the key, standard Volkswagen key. The logo's out of it, but it's no worries. Let's go take a look. We'll start at the rear. These lights are not stock. They're aftermarket lights, but I do think they look quite good. Funny things about Seats, they have the trunk popper integrated in the logo. So I can just pull it up. Should be able to pull it up. There we go. And then you can see there's a lot of junk, but no worries. Big sub, appropriate. I don't actually know what's under the cargo floor. Is there a spare wheel?
There used to be.
There used to be a spare wheel.
It's not anymore.
Oh, it's a toolkit.
Yeah.
Toolkit, so got your jack, got your pump. Nice. Good to see. The equipment back in. So yeah, that's the trunk. Pretty sizable, but not that big. Should be pretty spacious when you fold the seats down. Yep. See, another cool styling cue from the Seat is like the integrated rear. Stop falling out. Yeah. Integrated rear door handle. It wasn't the first car to do this, but it was one of the earlier ones. Since this car came out in 2006, and this is a 2011 example. So see, another cool thing about the Leon is that the wipers actually go with the A-pillar, so they don't live underneath here. They live at the sides, and they go like that, which is pretty cool. Standard Seat fascia of the era. Nothing really special about it. Let's go inside. Let's see. What do we have here? The key in ignition. Standard ignition. Turn that off before we get muted, which we don't want. So what's pretty cool about this car is that the tach is in the center, like a sports car, but it's not really a sports car, but it's at least a bit sporty. What's kind of odd is that normally in Volkswagen products you'll see the little instrument cluster panel. It's usually like in the center, but at this car it's like to the left, which is pretty cool. Interesting. So this car is pretty decked out as far as options go. We got cruise control, rain sensors, fog lights, full infotainment system, which by today's standards isn't that special, but for the time it was quite good. Way better than like stuff Ford had, which is like 1,000 buttons all over it. USB, normal stereo out, all behind a nice door. All feels pretty nice, pretty, like, not super premium, but it's, you know, how do you call that? Degelijk.
Decent.
Decent? Alright, let's just keep it with decent. Still no electronic handbrake yet, which I actually like. Cigarette lighter. Actually, the mirror controls are in the center, which is kind of odd. You don't see that a lot. The hazard lights, also in kind of an odd position. So we got a 6-speed manual with the reverse all the way to the left and forward. Climate control with dual zones. And I think that's about it for the cabin. Standard controls are all fairly normal. Comfy seats. Very comfy. Hey PG, how you doing? In the UK, you would be lucky to get a screen in 2011. Well, this one was pretty decked out. Got everything. Got like satellite navigation, media stuff, Bluetooth for your phone. Let's go take a look at the engine, shall we? Like usual, little latch at the rear. 2016 at least. Whoa, guess we're doing pretty well. Let's go check out the engine bay. Ugh. Oh, it's quite heavy. Thank you, my good sir. I think it's supposed to go here. Yes. Thank you. It's bad over here. Oh well. At least you got cars. So first thing first. Isn't there supposed to be like an engine cover? It's supposed to be over this. Like big hunk of plastic. I don't remember this engine being this bald. But it's actually cool because we can actually see stuff. So, sport intake. Didn't know it had that. This is the first time I'm looking at the the engine bay myself. So we got a sport intake by K&N. That's pretty cool. Didn't know it had that. So it's a 1.2 TSI, which is a 1.2 liter 4-cylinder with 2 valves per cylinder, overhead cam. Nothing really that unusual. Whoa, the battery glows. That's cool. Didn't know that. So the battery's actually inside of a box. You don't see that often. Usually it's just a strap over it. Relay box. And yeah, it's a fairly small engine for the car. You can see there's a lot of space back and in front. I like this. They put the oil filter right at the top. So it's easy to change. Very easy. Oh, that's nice. They put the charge level of the air conditioning right on here. They don't do that for every car. They just say what kind of gas you need. But this one actually tells you what kind of gas you need. How much. Cool. Yeah, I think that's about it for the engine bay. A bit loosey-goosey. Let's close her up. Yep. Alrighty. Cool. K&N, very nice. So this is a COPA edition, which means it has some options. Maybe the K&N filter. I don't know. That does look like it's somewhat stock, but I'm not sure. It might be built in by the previous owner. So we got 4-wheel disc brakes, which is pretty nice. Got disc brakes on the rear. Quite small rims for today's standards, but I actually quite like smaller rims on a car. I don't like looking at 20-inch, 21-inch rims and just this amount of sidewall. It's not for me. Let's go for a ride, shall we? We'll see how she goes. How she rolls. I will give my phone to my buddy. There you go. Thank you. Safety first. Start her up, mate. Nice starting sequence with the dials. And she purrs to life. If I remember correctly, the timing chain has been changed fairly recently.
Yeah.
Which is kind of sad at like almost 180,000 kilometers. That's a known issue on these 1.2 TSI motors, that the timing chains, they break. And it's an expensive repair, that's for sure. So it's a quite small engine for the car, but of course it compensates with the turbocharger. So it still feels quite zippy. Like down in the rev range is really tame. When you get above 1500 RPM, it really picks up. It makes peak torque at, I believe, 1750 RPM, which is really low. Engine output 77 kilowatts, which is 105 horsepower, and I believe it makes 175 newton meters of torque, which is not bad for such a small engine, but that's what you have a turbocharger for. It's a fairly modern engine, so we expect it to make a lot of torque, not that much power, because that's what modern engines do, at least the small ones. I'm not the biggest Volkswagen fan. See how this fall under Volkswagen, but I do always have to give it to them. They make a good gearbox. Nice and smooth throws. Throws are a bit long for my my cup of tea, but it's very clear on what gear you're in. It's just a very nice gait, as they call it. Make sure the engine gets to warm up before we give her the gas. It's a very rural area, so we can't go fast anyway. Steering feel. Well, it's vague, but it communicates just enough to make it like not annoyingly vague. It's electric power steering, so not the biggest fan of that, because you'll lose all that steering feel, but I've felt worse. Brakes feel pretty good. They don't really need a lot of travel for a lot of brake force. They're quite touchy though, like I really gotta get used to seeing that my cars, I really have to like push the pedal down quite firmly to get the same braking force. The ride, pretty comfy. I like it. We'll see how she does in a couple of corners. So far, it's at least very comfortable. The seats are very comfy, which is good. Turn on those wipers. It's a bit rainy out today. It's also already getting dark, which isn't ideal, but you know, what can you do? Got any questions so far? Nothing? Nope. Alright. It's okay. Fair amount of body roll. Let's go see. That's what you get with comfort suspension. It's not the sportiest car ever, but it's decent. I like the rear view mirror. It's quite big. You can see a lot out of it, even though the rear window is actually not the tallest. It's not the biggest window ever. Other minor annoyances are the very big A-style. A-pillar, as they call it in English. Blocks a lot of visibility. And it has like this little put it like a little window there so you can see something. It does have automatic headlights, which is nice. So I don't really have to think about that one. Engine's very muted unless you want to give it the beans in the low rev range. It really starts to shake and you feel the whole car vibrate. Like if I go up a gear. I need to brake first. And try to accelerate from like down low in the rev range. It does start to vibrate. You can kind of hear it. I don't think you can hear it, but I can hear it. Let's see, I'll put it in fourth. So I'm doing 1,000 RPM. And then the whole car shakes, which is understandable for such a small engine, but it is noticeable. So you really gotta keep it above 1,500 RPM to drive it comfortably. But I can imagine it's quite a comfy cruiser. Good daily, as some might call it. Let's see. Forgot to put my phone on silent, I see. Sorry about the vibration. Very little tire noise, which is nice. It's not really that noticeable. Really good. I have other stuff to yak about. Looks like she's warmed up. Let's give her the beans. See what she's got. I think 0 to 60 is 10.9 seconds. If my memory recalls that correctly. I did look at it before we started. Let's see. Let's get to go straight. Wet, so I'm not going to launch it from standstill because we'd just be spinning tires since it's an open diff. Alright, nobody behind us. Let's do shift down. Take it down to 30. Second gear. That's 30. Just see what she does. Here we go, 2,000 RPM. There's the boost. Quite long gears. So it gets on boost pretty early, as expected, because the peak torque is so low. And above 3,000 RPM, it's just making peak power almost, and it just revs out to 6K. Really, not really a bombastic car. It's just not a lot of festivity about it. It goes. it goes. The power is smooth, but it doesn't really push you in your seat at all, like at all. I think this car could have used a little bit more aggressive gearbox. It's got a little bit more wheel torque. Yeah, above 3,000 RPM, it doesn't really do that much. But it is smooth, I'll tell you that. That ain't bad. Stereo's pretty good. I don't know, although I don't know how much of that is still stock, apart from the subwoofer. I'd have to ask probably the previous owner, which was the current owner, little brother, which is kind of an interesting story. Traffic. Let's see, anything else? It's the police. Probably looking for someone by the looks of it. Otherwise they wouldn't stand in such a dangerous spot. Let's go on Little B Road. Here's something rolling. Steering wheel's quite nice. It lies nice in the hand, and it's not too big. Track quite straight, which is nice. It doesn't want to dive into every little hole or anything. Where you point it, it does go, which is quite nice. Comfy. Like, this is known to be a very bumpy road. This is the worst part, probably. Yeah, very behaved, very predictable. It is front wheel drive, so if I'm gonna push it, it will understeer. But so far, it does handle pretty good for a car this size. Oh, Mr. Toad. Just missed him. The clutch does feel great. It's something that Volkswagen does well. The only problem I have with this clutch is that the bite point is somewhat vague. I mean, if you know, you know, but if you're like a driver starting out, it might be a little bit hard to get used to, because it isn't really that clear on when the clutch engages. I think that's about it. Don't really have anything else to talk about. I think we've done a good round, good summary of what the car is all about. Get the essence. Alright, one pull in first gear. Yeah, like I said, very smooth. but not really that much power for a car this size. I mean, it's 105 horsepower. For a car this size, it's not that much. But it's adequate. And that's what it's all about. And as long as the owner is happy with it, then it's cool. And if nobody has any further questions, then I think it's time to wrap things up. I will take a left turn here. We'll find a nice parking spot. And we'll do a final walk around.
The first question, why does Europe get all the good hatches?
Because at least America, they don't buy small cars. See Fiesta ST getting cancelled. See the whole Fiesta line getting cancelled. See the Focus getting cancelled. If you bought more fun small cars, then you got more. But it's all just about what people buy. And if you look like at Japan, they also have a lot of cool hatches. But if you want a sporty hatch, yeah, there's a lot of good European options. For sure. Let's go further up. It's so dark, I can't see anything. Good enough. It's a damn shame. Hi, Em. How are you? Let's go take a look at the car. The headlights like blinding it. Could you do me a favor? Rev it for me? Let's go listen to the exhaust. I'm sorry about the darkness. It's fairly dark. Let's go listen. Very muted. It's like it's a pretty nice gurgle it has, but it's pretty muted. It doesn't really like to shout. But yeah, that's about it. That's to say it, Leon. Thank you all very much for watching. Yeah, it's a pretty nice tone for a 4-cylinder. Ain't too bad. There's like a garbage truck making a lot of noise. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Thank you, Peachy, for stopping by. I hope everyone enjoyed this, and hope you all have a great night. Bye bye.